Stand by. The program will begin soon.
When I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot. That person's probably a homophobe. That person's probably a racist if they're just flying American flags out everywhere.
Hold up. Hey, this sounds more like a you problem. You should probably go see somebody about that.
He got over $5 million per year from the American taxpayers, being given no bid contracts from Maine Governor Janet Mills, and is building a military in Somalia. He has been funneling money back to Somalia to build a military in Somalia. The guy is running a migrant services agency that bills Maine Care, which is what we call Medicaid, about $5 million a year. Oh no, those illegal immigrants are getting any Medicare. And then he said he raised money in the U.S. to buy weapons, munitions, and supplies for a paramilitary force he had hoped to lead as the president of Jubaland. Yes, that's a real state in Somalia. And to be clear, in Somalia, he's running to be the warlord of Jubaland. Elections in Jubaland aren't exactly like elections in America. It's whoever has the most guns is able to certify the election. So he needed to buy a paramilitary organization and paramilitary support in order to win the election. Avocados Diablos asked if you could bring any one comic strip character to life and train them to be a hitman, who would you choose? Oh, that's the easiest question ever. Calvin. Calvin. Oh, look, Somnambule Nation, you and I are on the same page. Calvin. From Calvin and Hobbes. Yes. And by God, Calvin would be the greatest hitman to ever live. Better than John Wick. I guarantee it. I didn't have to think about it.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
Yes, it's true. The Obama administration deported over 3 million people, and the Biden administration, over 4 million people. But they didn't need troops. They didn't need military in the streets to do it. Tell me why. Put it in the chat. Tell me why you think that's that.
Because when Obama and Biden were in office, there were no riots in the streets of Los Angeles, even though 80% of the deportations were also expedited with no hearing. But you didn't give a shit then. Now that Trump's in office, you suddenly give a shit. Hope that helps.
That turkey was amazing. Mostly because I cooked it, because I'm really good at cooking turkey. So one of my tricks new tricks that I do, you know how when you cook a turkey in a pan, even if you got one of those raised pans, it always happens. You cook this turkey and the breast of the turkey get all nice, the top gets all nice and brown, and then you go to cut the underside and the thighs and legs are like all white underneath and not even done. Well, there's a trick you can do to avoid that. What you do is you cook the bird upside down for at least 1/3 of the cooking time. So you end up browning the bottom and sealing that first, even more so. And the other thing I do is I start my oven at 500 degrees. The first 45 minutes to an hour, you put it at 500 degrees, and then you turn it down to 325 and do the rest of the cooking. But anyway, do it upside down, and 1/3 of the way through, then you flip the bird back over in the pan, and the entire bird gets finished at the same time. So apparently, In Europe, you can refer to Americans as pigs, but not convicted rapists. A German court gives a woman a harsher punishment than convicted. I hate it when people say grapist. I'll just say unwanted sexual activity peoples for calling him a disgraceful pig. She called someone convicted of that crime a disgraceful pig and got a harsher punishment than the person who actually committed unwanted sexual activity. And so that's why people were posting that story about the German court gives women harsher punishment than convicted unwanted sexual activity.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's a story about this man, too. He led the attack on Pearl Harbor, but died a Christian missionary on December 7, 1941. Captain Mitsuo Fuchida flew the lead plane against Pearl Harbor, shouting the famous code, Tora, Tora, Tora. He hated Americans. But after the war, he met a former American POW, Jacob DeSager, who had returned to Japan not to punish him, but to preach the gospel. Shocked by this forgiveness, Fuchida bought a Bible. He converted to Christianity in 1950. The man who started the Pacific War spent the rest of his life touring the U.S. and Japan preaching, quote, I was a follower of the sword. Now I'm a follower of the cross. Amazing. Nearly 5 years after pipe bombs were discovered outside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., a suspect has been arrested in the case. On Thursday, federal agents arrested Brian Cole Jr., 30 of Woodbridge, Virginia, and he was charged with transportation of explosive devices, blah, 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 blah. But on Friday, legacy media outlets began reporting that Cole, this young black man right here, was a Trump supporter. And I'm not saying he's not because he's black. I'm just saying there's other evidence that might support the fact that he's not a Trump supporter. But we'll get to that. Quote, Brian Cole worked for a bail bonds company run by his father that worked to free illegal immigrants from ICE facilities and sued the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security. He worked for his dad. They tried to free illegal immigrants. Interesting. Yes, I know every Trump supporter, every black supporter, Trump supporter, would be quick to hire Benjamin Crump, who represented the family of Trayvon Martin, attempting to sic the Biden administration Department of Justice on a local Tennessee prosecutor who had raised concerns about the bail bond company. We'll find out eventually that this guy had nothing to do.
Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem. Prostitution. And now you've got the police chief and the police department involved. Just data points to consider.
It is Happy Bill of Rights Day on December 1791. The Commonwealth of Virginia ratified the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Virginia's George Mason and James Madison were the driving forces behind these guarantees of individual rights. And note that all the individual rights that are in the Bill of Rights are not rights granted by the government. Those are the inalienable rights which the government shall not infringe. And if you notice, it's interesting because the Bill of Rights is all about what the government cannot do, not what the government can do. And I think the kind of got away from that a little bit, where some people seem to think that the government is supposed to grant you rights. No, these are rights you have, whether there's a government or not, and the rights that the government must protect for you. So it was a unique thing when it came about in 1791 that government is not there to grant you or give you privileges, but rather to protect the rights that you have.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
You know, there was a radio host who on every Friday would say these words: ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday! And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Yes, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where I talk about news and stuff going on in the world in a way that makes some people crazy. It drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the second time this week I've sung that song. I don't know why. Anyone remember the Fine Young the Fine Young Cannibals? Yeah, back in the 80s. Was that 80s or 90s? I think. Siri, what year did the song She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals come out? 1988. I knew it was in the 80s. It was before I moved to the Twin Cities. Anyway, hi, how y'all doing? It's Friday on the Morning Night Live, and you know what that means? Friday Q&A, and that means you can ask me anything, and I mean anything. It can be weird, it can be funny, it can be true, it can be real, it could be an actual question that makes sense too. So there. If you want my opinion, or if you just want to know something about me, or you just want to know something like yeah, I see the first question. AD. All right. So anyway, hi. Let's just do the normal show here. Did I miss anything? Did I forget to do anything? I'm trying to remember. I got the right thumbnail. I got the Q&A up. I got articles open. Yeah, let's get this shit started because it's Friday, and we want to get out of here at a decent time. So anyway, how are y'all doing? First in the chat today is Wow, it's Green Badger Outdoors. Yeah, way to go. You got here first, and you get the proverbial and very prestigious bell. Congratulations. Also, good morning, Avocados Diabli, our friend with the theme song. Carasol's in the house. Mike Savage, Blarg. Mike R. Hi, Mike R. See, now I have a problem because I'm getting the @ names. I'm glad you're here. You haven't been here in a while. Or have you been here before? I'm seeing some names that I don't recognize. Anyway, Radscord 89ish. That's a new one. Hi, folks, folkettes, folks, and minions of this. You're a Minions person. That's right. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Unholy Queen, aka our young friend Midnight. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Miss Wild Wolf. Attack Alpaca, Annal N, and Jay Blizza. JB's in the house, and that's it. It's not very many. Where is everybody? That's okay. It's Friday, and sometimes people sleep in, well, if they can. Friday, usually it's Saturday when people sleep in, and I don't even do a show on Saturday. Anyway, 14 people here so far. That's what it is. But 9 likes, that's a good ratio. That's a better ratio than normal. I appreciate you hitting the like button right away, even if you don't know. And AD, eventually I'll do something that pleasures him, but yeah, I know, word choices, right? You know what I mean. And I don't mean that. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Let's get into the show right away because we just got to get this thing going. You know what? I knew I forgot something. Hang on. Every day I tend to forget this one. Maybe because it's great filler, but maybe people don't like it. Anyway, let's thank the people who've shared the stream already. Why is that there? What the fuck? Which would be nobody. What the hell? Nobody shared the stream yet? Did I not? What the hell's going on here? This is unusual. This is super unusual. But people are sharing my short videos at least. Unless I'm just, okay, there we go. Now there it is. It's just something happened there. I don't know why this wasn't, okay, so people are still mad about, oh my God, people are still mad about my post yesterday about the kids who were, hit the kid in the front of Fremont High School, and there's, bro was about to get jumped by a mob. No, he wasn't. The school, someone from the school said, "Wait, I'll talk about that later." Thanks to people sharing the show. Let's just get to this right now. I'm so annoyed by the people. I didn't realize how many people actually chirped at me about that either. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll figure it out later. Anyway, good morning, Blue Eyed Scream too. Let's get here we go. Thank you, Somnambule Nation, reposting the show. For some reason, it wasn't popping up right away. And Miss Wild Wolf with the Let's Go, and also the Friday Free for All gift that she made so eloquently. Also, thank you, Green Badger Outdoors. More military hardware. That's a nasty sub right there. That's like. That is so cool when they do that with subs. It's like a whale breaching, and you're like, oh shit, that's a submarine. I'm about to get blown up. Somnambule Nation with more. You saw my White Chicks theme today. It's White Chicks Day. For Shizzle My Nizzle, yeah. Also, let's see. Let's go. Another one. Reaction Puerto Rico. Are you here yet? I don't see you, but I see you reposted the show. And Mike Savage, thank you with the Let Us Go daily. And there you go. That's everybody who shared the stream. If you haven't shared the stream, over there, the chat. You can do it over there in the chat if you're watching on YouTube, on a computer, if you're on a phone. Down there, right at the top of the chat, there's a little link there that says, have you shared this? Click that. Click the link. Reply with Let's Go and add a meme or a GIF. Just today, mine was a White Chicks GIF, and so people are throwing in some White Chicks GIF because it is White Chicks Day. It's AWFLs Day, which stands for I think what does it stand for? Affluent white liberal. What's the hell? Awful. Affluent white female liberals. That's what it stands for. AWFLs are affluent white, because they're they're the bane of society, at least in my book sometimes, because they just they do everything on emotion and not reality. Affluent white female liberal. Yes, we're going to be talking about. There's a couple AWFLs, although Peggy Flanagan technically is not white, I guess, because she has some Native American heritage. That's what her claim to fame, but not like Elizabeth Warren Native American heritage. She's not faux Pocahontas. She's actually part of the Red Lake Nation here in Minnesota, but still, she's awful. She's awful. I'm just telling you. All right, holidays. Obviously, it's Friday, so I better scroll before. Make sure there's no. What's this one? Okay. It's safe to scroll on Red Friday. Last week, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, get on a Red Friday, and there's like naked people all over the place. Well, not like I scrolled down, it was naked people. So anyway, Red Friday stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. If you know anyone deployed somewhere else in the world, or just keep them in your hearts and your minds. There's a big carrier group going out in the Mediterranean, and we got people, stationed in Okinawa and all over the place. Remember all those people who are deployed, and we wear red on Fridays for that. And I'm remembering to wear red. This is the third week in a row where I remember to wear red on Red Friday. So anyway, someone who says, good morning, fam. Happy Red Friday. Pray for our military and our leaders. Be safe and stay warm. Have a great day. Someone said, we didn't debate whether to stand. We stood hand on heart every morning because people died for that flag, and our teachers made sure we never forgot it. Yeah, I mean, I know people get all mad because you're being some jingoist and patriotic, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, I am, and I'm proud of it. Now, as I scroll down, though, on Red Friday, I know there's going to be some entertainment for our friend AD, and I found, like, right there you go. She had young ladies wearing red for Red Friday, and I'm sure you appreciate it. So there you go. And I don't know, what's her name, Steffi or something. Anyway, happy Red Friday, Avocados Diabli. All right, and so we got a bunch of people putting stuff for Red Friday, so good for them. I like it. The holiday calendar today, let's see what we should be celebrating today. And for those of you who are new here, this is just filler. I'm just letting more people show up in the chat, so it gives people time to get the notifications. Today is National Frozen Yogurt Day. Oh, yeah. Did I say gay? I think I did, because frozen yogurt, that's gay. Yeah, National Frozen Yogurt Day. Yippee. Cool down and treat yourself to cool down and treat yourself on National Frozen Yogurt Day. Yippee. It's also Bob Marley Day. Is this the day that is this Bob Marley's birthday? Anyway, celebrating the culture of reggae music. National Chopsticks Day. Let me ask you something. Are y'all who here is proficient with chopsticks? I am. I learned to use chopsticks when I was a little kid. My dad taught me, and I also had an aunt from Japan. My uncle's wife was from Japan, so everyone knew how to use chopsticks. And National Wear Red Day, because it's Red Friday, but apparently there's one National Wear Red Day. Also, National Valentine's Shopping Reminder Day. If you have a Valentine, you've got 8 days to get on the stick. Now, in my house, we do not celebrate Valentine's Day because we have an anniversary 1 week later. We were we were married on February 22nd. So we just said, fuck Valentine's Day. We have an anniversary. We'll do something cool then. Pay a compliment day. You all are beautiful. National Lame Duck Day. Wait, don't be a duck at National Lame Duck Day. Seize the day and make something amazing happen. Okay, that's a weird one. National Bubblegum Day, like that. And then it's not only National Bubblegum Day, but it's Bubblegum Day. There's two of them. There's Bubblegum Day and National Bubblegum Day. I don't know what the difference is. Like, is National Bubblegum Day strictly for the white nationalists, and then Bubblegum Day is for all the rest of or something like that. Anyway, National Women's Heart Day. Take care of your heart, ladies. National Ashley Day. If your name's Ashley, yippee. Ronald Reagan Day. Honor the legacy of President Ronald Reagan on this special day with patriotic events, speeches, and reflections on his impact. Is it Reagan's birthday today? I know. Wait, did we do President's Day yet? That's in February, right? I don't know. Time to Talk Day. Working Naked Day. What? Wait a minute. Listen to this. Working Naked Day. Break barriers from the comfort of your home this working naked day. Celebrate freedom and embrace confidence like never before. Well, I'm glad they didn't say like naked at the office, because that would upset some people. I'm just saying. And the Wade Tangi Day, which is like, I don't know what that is. Is that like a Wu-Tang Clan holiday? Who knows? I don't care. All right, those are the holidays. Moving on. And then our celebrity news today, because I always try to do one celebrity, but I don't always remember. But today, the celebrity of the day is Lindsey Vonn. Yes, Lindsey Vonn from here, my hometown. Well, not my hometown. Well, that is my hometown, because I was born in St. Paul. So technically, St. Paul is my hometown, even though I didn't grow up here. Great Minnesotan, Lindsey Vonn, about to do her next Winter Olympics. Apparently, they're doing the... She did a practice run yesterday, and everyone's excited about that, mainly because she ruptured her ACL about a week and a half ago. And so here she was working out, trying to make sure that she could still ski. But yeah, Lindsey Vonn, the great American skier who learned how to ski on a place called Buck Hill in Burnsville, Minnesota. Now, Buck Hill is just this, the reason it's called a Buck Hill is because it's not a mountain. It's just this big hill that they've turned into a little ski area. And a lot of skiers that ski at Buck Hill, like who competitively, go on to do very well in international competitions. And I think the reason is because you can get a whole lot of runs in. Because, not that it might be 300-400 yards. I mean, it's not even a mile down the hill, but you can get a lot of reps in. So a lot of, versus if you go training in the mountains and you go down all this, have to go all down, and you got to go up and take, a half hour to get back up to the top. Where Buck Hill, you can do, many reps in an hour. So anyway, she's one of the great American women skiers, and we're looking forward to see her in the Winter Olympics, even though I don't really watch the Winter Olympics because, that's some white people shit. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, moving on. Okay, now this is, I had that on the screen, right? Did I have Lindsey Vonn on the screen? I think I did. Do you know, Lindsey Vonn's a fine individual, by the way. She used to live about a mile from where I live right now. Because I remember when I was in the mortgage business, one of my realtors I worked with was having an open house, and I went to go hang out at the open house with the realtor, and they said, "Yeah, this is Lindsey Vonn's house." I'm like, "What? Really? You're selling Lindsey Vonn's house?" Okay, the Crack Olympics 26. Yes, there you go. Yes, Zach. Yes, you caught me. That's some white people shit. Lives in Minnesota. Yeah. I'm a funny motherfucker. Okay. Hi, Zach. How you doing, by the way? All right. Lindsey Vonn here. There's Lindsey. She's a cutie, and she's a amazing Olympian skier. Okay, enough about Lindsey Vonn. All right, let's get into the news. Now, you know how I said there are times when our president does shit that annoys the hell out of me, or where I say sometimes he's just stepping on his own dick sometimes. Well, he put up a video on Truth Social, and somehow at the end of this video, there is just a brief moment in the video where there is a picture of the Obamas with their faces on ape bodies, like monkey bodies, which is just incredibly it's just too easy for liberals to go off on this, and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Now, so here it is. Trump shares a video with Obama's faces on ape bodies. The clip, part of a montage on 2020 election fraud allegations, drew quick condemnation from critics like California Governor Gavin Newsom, who called it disgusting behavior, and others labeling it as racist, which, I mean, it kind of is, for revoking dehumanizing imagery. The White House defended it as an internet meme portraying Trump as the king of the jungle, and Democrats as Lion King characters. Posted around 11:44 p.m. on February 5th. It has stayed live with over 1,100 retweets and 3,600 likes, while Trump allies see it as election satire, and no responses come from the Obamas or most Republicans. Now, what's fascinating about it, notice how, and it's pure stupidity just to have even this on. This is just like this is like one of those things you just don't need, okay? Because now you're gonna have black Republicans out there saying, "Oh, this is bad," but the problem is too. Notice as I show you this, look at what the timestamp is on this. It's a 1:02 video, right? And this is 1 minute into a 1 minute 2 second video. And this is the freeze frame, right? Now, let's watch the actual video of what it's about. And I don't even understand why that's in there. Okay, so here we go. Here's the actual Truth Social post where it comes from. Someone here was writing this. 1 minute and 2 seconds of seditious conspiracy captured on videotape, Dominion, Smartmatic, whatever. This guy's describing the video. Here's the video itself, though. I'm going to play the video. And I want someone to, if anyone here can explain to me why that's at the end of this video. Maybe one of you can do it, right?
Initiated by a...
Oops, hang on. Sorry. Let's...
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS-200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states
what's this video about?
Counting at a certain time.
Certainly not about that
states.
Freeze frame.
These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Action. That's it. That's it. What? Why was that there? Why was that there? It makes no sense. So I'm trying to figure out, when Trump posted, did he know that was in there? And why not put it there? Well, why put it there? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I mean, all it does is get people talking about shit that just isn't unnecessary. So now if you scroll through this, you got all these people bitching. Last night, Trump posted a video on his social media that contained a racist clip showing Barack and Michelle Obama as monkeys. It's still up. Maybe, now here's the thing. Is this one of those things that Trump does to make sure people go watch the video? This would be a nuclear level scandal like 10 years ago, but Trump has lowered the bar so much that I don't think this even gets a news cycle worth of coverage. Oh, it'll get coverage. It'll get coverage everywhere. Everyone's talking about Governor Gavin Newsom, disgusting behavior by the president. Every single Republican must denounce this now. Again, how much of that video had anything to do with this? Is this one of those 4D chess things? I'm just like, nobody. It's a breaking a racist. Oh, this is Brian Krasenstein. Breaking. Our racist president just posted a video which depicts Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. But I'm sure MAGA will tell us it's the black people who are the real racist ones, and that we need to do seeing about that. Well, when is enough is enough? When can you all admit you voted for a terrible human being? I've never said Trump was a great human being. I've always said he was a jackass, but guess what? I bet you got to watch the video, didn't it? Fake news alert. Trump didn't post this monkey video of the Obamas, lying Democrats. And this today says, yes, he did. He's happy to depict black people as apes, and you're still pathetically and shamelessly willing to shill for him. I don't know why it's in that video, other than to get people to watch the video. Finally, but the problem is they're only posting the screenshot of that 1 second. Bakari says, I need white evangelicals and black Trump supporters to please come to the front and defend this racism. No, I'm not going to defend it. I don't give a shit. So anyway, that's prominent in the news today. So I put a copy of the link where the actual post is. It's in this Dominion post on Truth Social. I don't know if you have to be on Truth Social to view Truth Social, though. Are any of you on Truth Social besides me? Hello. Anon, 1, 2, 3. NHB Lovecraft. What's up, guys? All right, moving on. Yeah. Oh, and the Obamas are trending because of it, because everyone's talking about the Obamas. Now, Trump posted a video with a racist image depicting Obamas as apes. Is that the type of message the president should send? Haradopoulos. I have not seen that video. The number one thing we have to do is elevate the conversation. Should he take it down? I think he should take the 2 seconds down after everybody watches the video, I want to post the whole video. But it's so funny because notice how look how these people do this though, the news media. Let's watch this interview. I want to see this. I haven't seen this. I just saw this the first time. So here we go. Because they notice how CNN takes it and slows it down like that's the whole video. I want people to talk about the rest of the video.
Congressman, I want to ask you about a video that President Trump posted on Truth Social overnight. He's got millions of followers there. The video was about voter ID and election reform, but at the end, and I don't know if
notice that, look how slow this is. Look how slow they're playing this, like as if it went on for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. They got it in slow motion and screenshots, which is hilarious because I don't know if this was why it's in there to get people to look at it, but look what he does here. Let's go back. Look how long this takes on CNN and they're playing it. Watch.
The video was about voter ID and election reform, but at the end, and I don't know if you can see this, it included a brief image
6,
of
they do it
the
again,
Obamas,
7,
an overtly racist image
8,
of the former First Lady and the
9,
President as
10,
apes here.
11.
Now, it was at the end
12,
of the video. I don't know for sure.
13.
Whether the
now they're playing it forward
it,
again. 14.
But is this the type of
15.
message
They're playing it over and over.
Under any circumstance.
Oh my God.
To millions of people.
This is insane.
I've not seen that video you just showed
Sound
me,
Noble Nation.
Like what I've tried to do, and I tried to do
I
it on
learned
your
Stan
show
Hope.
today.
Yeah.
The number one thing that we need to
Entire
do is
Alexander.
elevate the conversation. I want to have more transparency in the government. It's the reason, even though I'm a conservative, I come on CNN. Let's have a thoughtful discussion about how we move forward in reforming our election systems. We have challenges overseas in Iran, and I hope we can elevate our debate in general.
Because he doesn't want to talk about it, and I don't blame him.
Recently this week in my own Financial Services Committee were Democrats yelling at our own Secretary of the Treasury because they're worried about losing a primary campaign.
But and again,
and so now that's all they're talking about. Hello, who's that? Old Guy Gamer, what's up? Good morning. All right, so it's hilarious that you're seeing this. Alice Williams, Trump's reposting of a video superimposing the Obama's face on apes is undisguised racist. MAGA, when will you admit you voted for the wrong person? Let's see. Oh, Joey Swole? No, not there. People are reacting after Trump allegedly reposted image of Obama's on Truth Social. That's bananas. No pun intended. And it's so funny because now people are saying, well, he posted this. Trump is personally racist in every aspect of his life, using the ugly monkey trope to attack the Obamas is indefensible. I feel sorry for his black supporters. This post is unambiguously racist content being deliberately amplified by him. This guy is the worst president ever. Now, and it's funny because when I watch that video, I go, was he amplifying that? It seemed like the rest of the video is what he was amplifying, but I don't even know how. Look, again, he could have found a better way to draw attention to the video if that's what he was trying to do. I think it's just dumb, but whatever. That's me. All right. Oh, now let's get into some awfuls. Let's get it. Well, no, ew. Let's talk about some awfuls. This one's viral. This is one of the ladies on my thumbnail up here. this young lady. I'm gonna play the video first before I describe it because I just want your opinion. I need your opinion on this, and maybe I'll do a poll. In fact, before I even play the video, you may have seen this already, but I'm still gonna start the poll. Let's unpin the. Yeah, we're done with that. Okay, let's start a poll. And ladies, you can participate in this too. Would you? Here we go. This is going to stretch your ability to believe life here. I'm just saying. Here we go.
Men.
Yes.
If you're still confused as to why we say it's all men, this is why.
No.
Anytime I walk anywhere, I get honked at
Really?
multiple times.
Oh.
I stopped at a gas station yesterday to get me some water and to sit in the shade for a little bit. I had this earphone on. Clearly, I was not looking to engage with anyone.
Okay.
An
And
old man
nobody's really looking to
proceeded
engage with
to
you.
harass me the entire time I was sitting there.
What?
He wouldn't stop asking questions. He wouldn't stop trying to talk to me. Even when I tried to ignore him, he repeatedly tried to get my attention. And then, when he thought he had it, he asked me if I would give him a fucking blowjob. So yes, until enough of you stop that fucking behavior, it's all fucking men.
So, when I saw this video, my first question I swear to God, the first question that popped into my head was the old man gay? Because I thought you might have been a man at first, but then I thought, well, no, maybe her voice is real.
Men, if you're still confused as to why we say it's all men.
So anyway, hello, Renee Mayette and Unholy Blue. Good morning. That's a new name I haven't seen. And who else is here? So is this coming in is this one of those things where you there's the meme where it has a circle, it has a Venn diagram, right? Or not even a Venn diagram. It says what are those circle graphs called? Pie chart. It has a pie chart. And there's a little sliver that's yellow and the rest is all blue. And the blue part is things that never happened. And then the yellow part is things that never happened, but just in yellow. Does anyone believe this? Wow. I'm just not feeling this at all. Wait, so anyway, the old Fire Marshal Bill meme. So anyway, so in a 55-second video, she describes constant honking and gas station counter where a man made unwanted advance. Oh, someone made a good point about that. I didn't catch that part. Hang on.
This is why. Anytime I walk anywhere, I get honked at multiple times. I stopped at a gas.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. I stopped at the gas station to what? Why is he doing that?
Gas station yesterday to get me some water and to sit in the shade for.
She went to the gas station to get some water and get some shade. Someone asked about that. That was a weird thing. I guess so. Look, now, for example, if you go to a Quick Trip here in Minnesota, Quick Trip gas stations. Now I don't know if she'd sit in the shade. They have benches outside though with some umbrellas, and they have a little place inside you can eat because they have all this food you can get. They have hot food they sell, and you can sit inside and eat. So I can understand where you can get some water and get some shade at a gas station. But I'm just saying, who the hell is honking at this? Okay, I'm going to be kind. Troglodyte. Oh man. So apparently old guy thought she was a desperate meth head. Oh my gosh. That's why he asked for a blowjob. I mean, can you see that? He thought she was a desperate meth head. Oh my gosh. Let's see some of the other comments here. You're playing with your lives, fellas. Okay, that's not it. Let's see. That'll happen when she's tweaking in the middle of the road. Okay. Old guy thought she was a desperate head. I know he's not real, but I really feel for the imaginary man she's talking about. The atmospheres of cringe weighing on his head right now. Someone here, there's no amount of alcohol on earth that would make her desirable. Someone, I can assume that nobody honks at her. She wants her attention and asks for services from her. Okay. To be honest, you do look like and dress like a crack whore, so you attract that kind of attention. Oh, God. Oh, she just getting roasted. So anyway, that's funny. I found that hilarious. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, Minnesota's Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Oh, the crazy lady who's probably going to be our next U.S. Senator. I hate to say that, but she's leading Angie Craig, and she's, she's like the perfect storm for Minnesota. You know, she's Native American from the Red Lake Reservation, and she's the first Native American lieutenant governor. Anyway, she's demanding that ICE leave Minnesota and dismantling ICE after agent pullback. Let's see her on. Well, it used to be MSNBC. It's MS now. They'll put the RN research clip up here. Here we go.
I want to be clear. The federal government has laid this at our doorstep. And long after ICE agents have left Minnesota, they will
by the
need
way,
to...
she's mad that they're only removing 700 agents. Is she Native American yet inciting illegals to come steal our land? Oh, good point. Yeah. She's a piece of work. She is everything you'd expect from an awful, and she is definitely. Think California legislator. She would be the perfect California legislator. Hi, Rick Ashbringer.
Restore, repair, and help heal what it is that they have broken. We have to claw back this $75 billion, and frankly, they have to restore what they have taken away from Minnesota's literal children and the chaos and fear that they have caused. ICE needs to be ripped apart, and we have to start over. This is unacceptable.
Oh, Jen, looking so empathetic too. Look, we can just add that onto the tab of the $9 billion that Minnesota's allowed in fraud. But anyway, Peggy Flanagan lives in a nation without borders, where drug lords infiltrate our communities, where crime devastates our major cities, where foreign nationals steal jobs of Americans. The safety and prosperity of Minnesota must come first. She's so unpopular and such a non-entity that there has been zero talk of her running to replace Fraudy Murphy. So naturally, Ginger Goebbels has her on. Can't wait for her to hit on Colbert. These people are worthless. Actually, unfortunately, like I said, she's the front runner in a Democratic primary, but I don't think she's very popular. Well, I know she's not popular outstate Minnesota. Nobody could stand her. So that's the balance. You know, you got 3 million people in the Twin Cities, 2 million people outside the Twin Cities. And so usually those outer ring suburbs of the metro determines who ends up in statewide offices. And for the last at least 10 years, they've always been voting for Democrats. So it's a tough place to be. All right, Don Lemon update. Now this is interesting. A Temple student surrenders, admits aiding Don Lemon before the church protest. Here, I'm gonna play this clip from this gal, and I don't know what news this is. I think this is someone's. I don't think this is a network news. I think this is someone who has their own channel, but here's the story.
Also developing this morning, a new federal arrest is drawing attention.
Okay, stop doing that. What's going on with my internet?
To what prosecutors say was Don Lemon's role in planning and recording the disturbing protest of demonstrators storming that Minnesota church service. A Temple University student has now surrendered on federal charges, admitting he helped Don Lemon with logistics and local contacts ahead of that anti-ICE protest. Jerome Richardson, a political science senior, turned himself in and is accused of conspiring to interfere with religious worship. Court records and social media posts show Richardson describing himself as assisting Don Lemon in the days leading up to the protest. Lemon, who claims he was just reporting, was arrested last week and released, but prosecutors say this new arrest undercuts that defense, suggesting planning and not just passive coverage. Also,
well, yeah, he wanted to be in the news, and actively participated with those people. He was in the planning session. He hid the planning so that he wouldn't broadcast it because he didn't want to get figured out. He waited to go in so people wouldn't recognize him so that they could get the most impact from their the surprise of their attack, and then he could go and sweep in and be part of the news, and maybe somebody would hire him back to be a news person. Anyway, new evidence shows the attack in Minnesota church was planned for more than a week by top Democrats and included Don Lemon from the start. So now here's here's Don Lemon complaining. Don Lemon whines, DOJ raided me at midnight for covering news. Truth, he stormed a church, intimidated Christians, trashed religious freedom. Again, I don't like when they say that he stormed the church. They didn't come coming through on ropes and shit. But they did plan an outburst and plan to disrupt the church service and to plan to shut down the service. And had that, what would have happened had that person that they claimed was the ICE director, what if he had been there that day? What would they have done to him? What would they have done? Would they have, cornered him and made it so he could not leave the church? What would have happened? And that church is still getting harassed, as we saw yesterday. So that's interesting, though. That undercuts the fact that he didn't have anything to do with it. He knew more than a week in advance that this was going to happen. They planned this out. JD Vance. I find this, in a way, I find it humorous, but has all the liberals mad, because JD Vance was asked about the death of, what's his name, Alex Preddy, and he gave this answer.
Should you plan to apologize to the family of Alex Preddy?
For what?
For, labeling him an assassin with ill intent.
Well, again,
But for what? A lot of people just end it right there. I saw that Peggy Flanagan had posted this and literally cut it off there so you couldn't hear the rest of the interview. It's just trying to create outrage within Minnesota.
I just described to you what I said about Alex Preddy, which is that he's a guy who showed up with ill intent to an ICE protest.
No, but if it is determined,
if
it's determined that his civil rights were violated by this FBI investigation, will you apologize to that?
So, if this hypothetical leads to that hypothetical leads to another hypothetical,
it's a real case.
Will I do a thing? And again, like I said, we're going to let the investigation.
Should you plan to apologize?
Yeah, he is trying to get him. Well, if the FBI says it was a violation of his rights, well, how would it be a violation of his rights? I think the violation of his rights to stay the fuck away from the ICE agents would have been probably prudent, but no one did that. And look, I don't think Alex Preddy deserved to die. That's a stupid way to put it. I don't think, what's her name? Renee Good. I don't think she deserved to die. Did they contribute greatly to their own demise by creating proximity that should not have been? Yeah. And I think Alex Preddy, I think his death was an accident of vision and poor communication between the ICE officers, because I'm convinced that the officer that shot first saw Preddy reach for his back, saw an empty holster, saw something in one of his hands, which was not a gun, but a phone or something, and assumed that it was the gun in his hand. And that was the point where he shot. Split second decision. And then afterwards, they were all looking for the gun, the people who were still with Preddy, as he lay on the ground. They're looking, where's the gun? Where's the gun? So that's the reason I believe that. And that was error. Now, I don't know if that's an actionable error or not, but it's a bad error and someone's dead because of it. But again, Alex Preddy's contribution to his own demise was getting into the middle of something he had no business getting in the middle of, and it turned into a shitty situation. May the guy rest in peace. Yes, he was a VA nurse. They like to bring up, well, he was a nurse who cared for people. Yeah, he was also a guy who protests who screamed and yelled at people. Neither of those are relevant. The only thing that's relevant is what happened on that day in that moment. And so they'll have to sort that out and decide if that's worth someone losing their job, whether it's criminal or not. Personally, I think that seems to be a logical explanation that holster with no gun in it. He had reached for it, and there's something in his hand. He made a mistake. Are mistakes, errors like that, actionable? I don't know. That's, if you get a Minnesota jury, they'll probably put him in jail for 20 years like Derek Chauvin. If you get a sensible jury, they'll be like, we got to weigh this in the law and the precedent and Supreme Court, blah, 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 blah. Good morning, Nomad. What's up?
Stop. Hammer time.
All right. Next on the news, Mike Pence is trending. I think the only reason Mike Pence started trending was because of J.D. Vance's for what? And some people are saying that was the perfect answer. Do you plan to apologize to the family of Alex Preddy? J.D. Vance. For what? And Mike Pence would probably be, oh yes, well, we feel for his family, but which I do. I don't know if they need to apologize to his family, but yeah, they can feel bad for his family. Now J.D. Vance too, I think. Oh, J.D. Vance was the one who said he was an assassin. No, he's not the one who said he's an assassin there to kill people. Whoever said that probably should apologize for that, but because nobody knows what he was going to do, because he was obviously been at other protests with the gun on him and didn't assassinate anybody. So that was kind of a dumb thing to say, especially, again, the one thing that pisses me off about Kristi Noem and the way they've handled some of these cases is they start running their mouths too soon. They start running their mouths too soon. And just wait, say, look, situation happened. We're waiting for the full investigation before we comment. We're going to just leave it at that until then. And not have any, come out with big pronouncements of shit you don't know. Especially when there's video cameras everywhere, and if you say the wrong thing, they're going to jump all over you. Real quick, the polls. I'm going to close the poll here. Would you? And whoever said yes. Whew. That's some brave and bold shit right there. All right, there you go. All right, next. Let's see. Oh, it's almost time for Q&A. We're going to get to that on time today. Let's get into some news headlines from some of the different places that we see daily. Breitbart, a Maryland man charged with attempted murder of Trump. Officer of Management and Budget, Russell Vought. What? Hang on a second. A Maryland man has been charged with the attempted murder of the Trump-appointed Russell Vought, director of the Office of Management and Budget. Colin DeMarco, age 26, who reportedly feared Trump's re-election would lead to a fascist takeover, was charged after he appeared at Vaught's Northern Virginia home wearing a surgical mask and gloves, court records show. U.S. Marshal Service reportedly found during the investigation that DeMarco had claimed to have written a manifesto that detailed weapons and a body disposal guide. For CBS News, a body disposal guide. Court records show that DeMarco is accused of plotting to murder a victim with the initials RV, who, according to the criminal complaint, has served as a presidential appointee. The complaint adds that the alleged victim was involved in the creation of Project 2025, a project funded by the Conservative Heritage Foundation to produce a policy agenda for the next GOP administration. It called for a radical reshaping of the government in ways that consolidate power in the executive branch. Now, CBS News made that the most important part of the story, obviously. Not that the guy had planned to kill somebody and had instructions how to dispose of a body. No, what's more important that he might have been part of Project 2025. That's hilarious. Sources familiar with the case separately confirmed to CBS News that DeMarco's alleged target was Vought. So anyway, the Vought family's thanking the FBI for catching that asshole. All right, on Daily Wire, another arrest. Fed nabs cross-dressing Antifa terrorists who threatened to kill ICE officers in Minneapolis. Remember this bundle of joy? This dude, he made a video or TikTok about how he wanted to kill ICE officers. The Justice Department with ICE HSI arrested a self-identified anti-ICE Antifa terrorist in Minneapolis today. He conspired and threatened to kill, assault, and dox officers if you find yourself in federal custody facing the full force of justice, whatever. So yeah, he They arrested Kyle Wagner, a cross-dressing Antifa terrorist who allegedly threatened to assault, kill, and dox officers in Minneapolis. So, good. That asshole's off the board. Also in the Daily Wire, Minneapolis liberals invent their own border patrol. Now, we showed you this the other day, and that's who the second lady is. This one right here. She's that one. I don't know if I even showed you a report of this. This is the local CBS affiliate. Where's the video? I had it. Okay, well, I don't have it now. Anyway, this is unedited. This is an edited transcript excerpt of the Michael Knowles show. Well, we already watched it. Here, let's hear. Is this the clip? I want to watch just that clip. Let's see, is this it? No, that's not it. And I'm not a member anymore. I dumped that. Well, anyway, we had it earlier, but anyway, you see it. Anyway, we just laugh because basically they created their old neighborhood border patrol that would only let people in that they were sure they're supposed to be there, and they're going to kick people out that didn't belong there. Wow, that's ironic. You can read the article yourself. Moving on, National Pulse, 600 arrests in California human trafficking sting. The Los Angeles Police Department, in conjunction with a number of other law enforcement agencies operating on a single tip, have busted major human trafficking operation, resulting in more than 600 arrests and the rescue of around 20 children across California. The Los Angeles County alone, the law enforcement action dubbed Operation Reclaim and Rebuild saw the recovery of 12 adults and 5 children. According to Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna, the investigations originated with a citizen tip regarding the home in the Los Angeles suburb of Walnut. A subsequent surveillance operation connected the home to several other nearby residences being used in the human trafficking ring. Quote, "We have traffickers that are putting barely teenage girls on the street of Los Angeles to be victimized repeatedly over and over again," LA Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton said following the bust, adding these children did not come from one place. They came from Chicago, from Oklahoma, from Missouri, tribal lands, and from communities right here in the state of California. Good. And that's the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department that did that. Good for them. Good. They need to bust those up more often. A few articles about Damme. Things are not going well for Mamdani in New York City so far. New York City hasn't had a trash pickup for 1/3 of Mamdani's term. Apparently the trash guys aren't working. New York City could smell worse than it does if it weren't so cold. And if it weren't so cold, after urging New Yorkers to abandon their individualism for his warmth of collectivism, 16 homeless people are dead because of Mamdani's progressive policy of letting them stay out in the cold instead of escorting them to homeless shelters. But the survivors of the Gulag Games did get a consolidation prize in the form of red capes with Mayor Mamdani emblazoned on them that are thinner than his resume. But the same cold killing the homeless is keeping the trash that has been piling up since January 24th from rotting so it doesn't smell as bad as its policies. The city hasn't had a trash pickup for 1/3 of Mamdani's term. It's also had a homeless death against every other day he's been in office. Homeless deaths every other day he's been in office. And, Mamdani did promise to transform New York City, but few expected him to make it a frozen wasteland full of corpses and garbage. Okay, so this story is like really long on that topic. But another Mamdani story, tens of thousands in New York City without heat now, and they're slamming Zoran Mamdani. Now, this is probably something, I'm going to guess it's something that's not necessarily his fault that thousands of New Yorkers are without heat. But he's the mayor now, and, he was going to have the warmth of socialism. Tens of thousands of New York City residents made calls reporting lack of heat and hot water in January, with several private and public housing tenants telling the New York Post they are stuck in unlivable conditions and are blaming Muslim socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani for failing to respond to the crisis. Because he promised so much, and he's delivering, well, nothing. Let's see. Approximately 8,000 New Yorkers called 311 last month, the highest monthly total on record, reporting a lack of heat and hot water during frigid temperatures below 10 degrees. According to the report, tenants throughout the city reported days without heat, freezing cold showers, and overnight shutoffs. We've had over 40 days of no hot water over the last 11 months. Now, he wasn't a mayor of the 11 months, and we're now on day 8 or 9 straight of no hot water. Williamsburg tenant Alex Hughes told the publication, I had to walk 15 minutes in the snow and ice to a friend's house so I could shower. So there's just stories galore, little anecdotal stories throughout this. But yeah, that's so far the socialist paradise is having growing pains. Also, by the way, this is interesting. Mamdani visit an attempted police stabber in the hospital. And traditionally, New York mayors are supposed to visit injured police officers, not their attackers. Being such a historical figure, is instead visiting a man who tried to stab a police officer in the hospital. The video shows Yabez Chakraborty, whatever, lunging with a knife at police officers before an officer shoots him. Oh, see, he's a shooting victim. That's why God. Mamdani visited the attempted stabber in the hospital, using him as the poster stabber for his police defunding campaign. So the guy tried to stab a police officer. The police officer shot him. So Mamdani decides to visit the assailant in the hospital. Brilliant. The situation underscores just how urgently we need a different and more effective mental health response system. Yeah, see, instead of shooting the guy, what he should have done is let the guy stab him and, almost to death. But before he died, he could go on his radio and call for the city desk social worker to calm the guy down and see if he needed some, warm soup or something. That's what he should have done. But instead, he shot the guy. And now Mamdani is explaining why that we should reform police work.
Your life makes me sad.
Oh, good Lord. Let's see. Oh, they're tearing down a homeless encampment in Maryland, and some people are mad about that. We're not criminalizing the unhoused. How a homeless encampment and its drug dealers are destroying a local condominium complex and turning its residents' lives upside down. Prince George's County is going to court to evict legal residents over damage allegedly caused by the camp. Oh, I've seen this story before. This is where, so there's a homeless encampment right near this condominium complex, right, in Maryland, and they're causing damage. The homeless encampment is causing damage all around, but they're blaming the people in the condominium for not keeping up their condominiums. The site outside the Marylander condominium, a 200-unit complex in Prince George's County, Maryland, describes it as a private community. But for members of a homeless encampment in the condo's backyard, the complex also serves as a crack house, a bathroom, and an entrance to an open-air drug market, which has become the magnet for organized crime and caused millions of property damage. Transients break into buildings and smoke crack in the stairwells. Tenants traversing the property must navigate needles, feces, and sleeping bodies, as addicts nap half-naked in the hallways and sprawl themselves like welcome mats outside residents' doors. Half the complex has gone without heat since Thanksgiving after vagrants allegedly vandalized the boiler room, causing pipes to burst in several buildings. Some units have lost electricity, too, due to the overuse of space heaters, though the county instructed those with heat to vacate immediately in December. Most have defied the order and just tried to weather the cold. They say they have nowhere else to go. Outside the freezing halls, drug dealers drive high-end vehicles through the dilapidated parking lot. The Washington Free Beacon spotted a Cadillac on one nighttime visit and a park in the complex southeast corner. They approach a hole in the property's wrought iron fence, which separates the Marylanders from what some residents call the mountains, a homeless encampment that has encroached on its law-abiding neighbors since 2023, and which the county's law enforcement officials have only recently sought to clear. And so they're trying to evict the tenants that live there because of the people who have occupied there. So it's not a good situation. All right. I have a bunch of other articles open, but ladies and gentlemen, I can't do it. I just got to get to this right now because it's Friday, which means, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for Friday Q&A. Ask me anything. And I tried to give my little extra time because I see the list is pretty long today, so let's just do it. All right. It's Friday, of course. We do Friday Q&A. And so today's first question, which I saw earlier and I found it hilarious. Avocado Stably asks, hey, so how are things in Snow Mogadishu? Well, here's the thing. There's there's this internet telephone game going around where I watch stuff on, like, people put videos on X about what's happening here and saying things like, oh, they're dropping off people naked in parks and just leaving them in the freezing cold and 30-degree below weather. They have all these little reports of what they're doing. And the problem is only about well, I don't know, I wouldn't give it a percentage, but there's a let's just say there's a large percentage that is being reported that is urban legend that no local news outlet is reporting. Okay, so they'll say that ICE is dropping off people barely clothed, no shoes, no socks, no phones, whatever, off in a forest somewhere. Now, when they say it's around near the Whipple building, there is a state park, Fort Snelling State Park, right near there, like in the middle of the city, like right in the middle of everything. But I haven't heard a single local news report say this. Just people who are making TikToks and shit. So I'm anything you hear, I would take with a grain of salt. Now, the one thing that does bug me though, if ICE agents are just going randomly door to door in some places, that is wrong. But I have no confirmation that they're actually doing that. A lot of politicians say they're doing that. Fortunately and unfortunately, I live in the suburbs, so I don't really even come into contact with a lot of it. But another example would be in a suburb near me, there was a lady who's, a real estate agent who made a video saying, oh, she's driving around in the car and there's ICE agents on the corners waiting for people to drive by and just stopping vehicles randomly. I live and drive near exactly where she's talking about. I haven't seen any of that. So, otherwise, are there abuses that some of these ICE agents are doing? Yes, and I don't like it. I would rather they have a very, very focused, they should have a very focused mission on specific people. And I don't like if they're doing any random shit, because that's, that just, first of all, it's legally an issue. And I just wish that now that we're starting to, Tom Homan says there's going to be more cooperation between the state and ICE and the Border Patrol people. That's a good thing. And I hope I hope that's a fact. Although there's obviously Hennepin County attorney's not down with that. Peggy Flan is not down with that. Jacob Frey is not down with that. But that's supposed to be the deal. And they're mad that they're only taking away 700 agents out of, roughly 3,000. So that's the update. Avocado Stably asks, if there's a death at the North Pole, since it is in all time zones and on both sides of the international date line, how do they determine the time of death? Big toe on the left foot. That's a law. That's international law. Big toe on the left foot. Ms. Wildwood asks, besides your family, is there one trend you can spend the rest of your life with? Is there one friend you can spend the rest of your life with? Who would it be and why? Oh, man. There's a couple people who are just good friends of mine that I could hang out and travel with and and be with, hang out with whatever, just because we're that good. It is funny because we don't even live in the same city right now, but so yeah, no, there is. I'm not going to name names, but yeah, because there's actually a couple of my fraternity brothers from college that we're all real tight, and if it was the last two of us, we could go hang out and drink beer together and chill. I need to take a short break. I apologize for this, but I have something that just came up. So give me 1 second. I will be right back. I apologize. It's going to be quiet. Give me about 2 minutes. All right. Thanks for your patience there. What the hell is going on here? There we go. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, next question on Friday Q&A. I'll turn that back up. Let's see. Avocado Stably asks, is dressing a Girl Scout and hitchhiking your way across the country while telling people you are on your way to a jamboree on your bucket list? If not, why not? Well, I know there's a lot of fat chicks out there, but they still don't make a Girl Scout uniform big enough for me, so can't do it. Avocado Stably asks, if you met your doppelganger and they challenge you to a duel to the death with feminine hygiene products to determine the one true Marty, what would you arm yourself with? A pillowcase full of Midol. I think they work pretty good. I could beat the hell out of somebody with a pillowcase full of Midol. What would you suggest? Have you tried that? I don't know. Avocado Sally asks, if self-repeating Frankenants, yes, they are back, replaced your colon with a gumball machine while you were sleeping, how much would you charge people for one? For one gumball? Huh. A douche at 10 paces, filled with acid. Self-increment franking ants, blah, blah, blah. Gumball machine. How much you charge for each one? Well, are they gourmet gumballs or just regular gumballs? Gourmet gumballs, maybe $1. Otherwise, $0.25. Just because, I would only sell the big gumballs. Well, ouch, maybe not. Okay, Avocados Diablias. How many pennies do you think it would take to fill your entire house? Wow. Like including the basement? I think our footprint's like 1,800 square feet. We got 9 feet. That'd be a lot. It'd be a couple million. At least, minimum. Wait, how many? Here, hang on a second. Let me try. All right. Let's say, because I don't know how many cubic square feet my house would be. How many? Here, let's try Grok. Let's try Grok. We're going to do this. Let's do this live. We'll get Grok on here. Here's Super Grok. All right. How many cubic square feet? You know, there's a shortage on pennies. Do you know that? Because the U.S. government's not making pennies anymore. Would 1,000,000 pennies take up? How many cubic square feet would 1,000,000 pennies take up? 1,000,000 pennies would take up cubic feet, 15.5 cubic feet. Huh. 15.5 cubic feet. Okay, and then how much? What would the area of a 10 by 12 room with, I should be able to do this in my head, 8-foot ceilings be in cubic feet? I should say volume though, not area, right? Volume. What would the volume? So that'd be 960 cubic feet. So holy shit. And now what was the pennies? 17. This is, I don't even know why I'm actually doing this, but I'm curious. So 960, Siri, what is 960 divided by 16? Siri, what is 960 divided by 16?
9 divided by 16 is 0.5625.
Okay, I did that wrong. So 50, oh my God, it would take a lot. I got to stop. All right, moving on. Avocado Sally asks, if anything were possible, would it still be possible for something to be impossible? If anything were possible, would it be possible for something to be impossible? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Avocado Sally asks, do fish get thirsty? No, they don't. I don't think they, well, do they? I don't know. Do fish drink water? I don't know. Gosh, I have no idea. Here, let's ask Rock. Do fish get thirsty? I should just have Grok answer all these questions. Do fish? No, fish don't get thirsty the way humans or other land animals do. Thirst is a conscious sensation that drives us to seek out and drink water when we're dehydrated. Fish, being surrounded by water their entire lives, handle hydration very differently through a process called osmoregulation. Basically, their bodies automatically balance water and salt levels without any feeling of thirst. So there you go. No, they don't. God, Grok is pretty handy. We should just put every question through Grok now. Here, let's put the here's one. Let's try this one. Let's do the self. No, I can't answer that. No, never mind. Let's see. How many pennies? We're going to ask this. How many pennies would it take to fill a 2,000 square foot house? So here's the question you asked. Oh wait, that's not it. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, you can't copy and paste these? Oh, that blows. I thought you could copy and paste these. Copy, paste. Oh, there we go. Fill and a 2,000 square house. How many pennies? This is going to be way too many. It's going to be like in the billions. Maybe 1 billion pennies. 18,000 cubic feet. It would take $9 million of pennies, which is, 900 billion pennies. It would take 900 million pennies. Grok's a great thing. I love this. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Lord Stanhope, thank you for coming. New question from somebody else. Lord Stanhope, not that I do like 80s questions though. Lord, stop that. There we go. Lord Stanhope asks, should we normalize hurling feces at people to show our displeasure toward them? Let's not. Let's not do that. Avocados Diabli, if you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you weak or strong? Oh, that's a great question. Because if you're weak, but you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, it's because you're weak. But if you're strong, you might knock yourself the fuck out. I don't know. Wow, I don't know. I would say you'd be average. Because anyone could punch himself in the face and make it hurt if they really wanted to. So there. Avocados Diabli asks, what do you think about when you were on the toilet? Wow, what do I think about when I'm on the toilet? Usually just whatever's happening in my day. Like, and pushing. I don't know. That's what a weird question. Lord Stand-Up asks, if you decide to hurl feces at someone to voice your displeasure at someone, would you use your feces or someone else's? And would it be an extra insult if you used your dogs or cats? Well, see, now there's the thing. Probably if I'm going to throw feces at somebody, it's usually going to be someone else's, mainly a pet's, because that's usually the only source of feces that I would have, because why would I have someone else's feces that's a human? That's really weird. But if I'm really desperate, like if I'm in prison or something, I'm not going to use my cellmate's feces. I'd be using my own. So what was the question again? Would it be an insult if you use your dog's cat? No, it'd be more of an insult to use your own. I'm just saying. It's like you really want to throw feces at somebody if you use your own. Lord Stand-Up asks, if Dominion Inc. actually did the shenanigans of the previous presidential thing, still can't say it, on YouTube, does Dominion have to pay back the money they sued Fox for? Ooh, was that? Oh, good question. No, they don't, because that was a settlement. That was a settlement. That wasn't even was that a settlement or was that a award? I thought it was a settlement. If it was an award, maybe Fox could sue to get it back. Avocado Diablo asks, have you ever been tempted to sleep inside a refrigerator? Yeah, no. I like living. You die when you sleep inside a refrigerator because the oxygen's all gone and shit. You run out of oxygen. You'd be dead. Well, unless you only took it like a short cat nap, but then what's the point of sleeping in a refrigerator if it's just a cat nap? I mean, you gotta want to get comfortable and sleep. But no, that's my answer. Avocado Diablo asks, if you were given a herpes-ridden 5-legged camel with leprosy, but you were not allowed to sell it, get rid of it, or kill it, what would you do with it? Herpes-ridden 5-legged camel with leprosy. What would you do with it? Well, I don't know. I just put it in a pen in the backyard and wait for shit to fall off. I don't know. That's a weird toy, I'll tell you that. Avocado Diablo asks, if someone with multiple personalities like the person writing these questions. Someone with multiple personalities threatens to kill themselves. Is it a hostage situation? No. There's got to be a good reason for that too, but no. All right. Oh boy. Avocado Diablo, what's the most recent thing you have forgotten? What I think about on the toilet. Avocado Diablo asks, why is 11 not pronounced 21? That's a question for the ages. I'm just saying. PDawgKnight, could I put a link here for Lord Stamp? That's fine. I don't care. As long as it's not like something I can get in trouble for. Why is it 11 not pronounced 21? Yeah, I don't know. Who came up with 11? 11, like that's the only one. 11, 12 also 22. 13. Now I understand like 30, like, or even why wouldn't it be 1 teen, 2 teen? Because I could see that because then there's prefix whatever. But no, they just have 11 and 12 that are just completely wrong. I don't know. Okay. Lars Stanhope asked, the old man was Theodore Roosevelt. Wait, what? Where? Oh, are you talking about the old man? the weird looking chick that gets honked at? Avocado Diablo asks. Oh, it's 10:30. Okay. Avocado Diablo asks, if the professor on Gilligan's Island could make a radio out of a coconut, how come he could not fix a hole in a boat? I was out, even as a kid, it's like, it's a boat. You built houses, you built a freaking, the radio with the coconut and all that shit. You made all that other shit and you couldn't fix a hole in the damn boat? Jesus, how long were you there? 3-hour tour, 3 years at a fucking island. You could have built a brand new boat. You probably could have made a motor out of fucking palm leaves and shit. Dumb motherfuckers. It's stupid. I'd never be stuck on an island because I'd figure out a way to get the hell home. Anyway, okay, where was I? Avocado Diablo asks, does the 3-second rule still apply if you drop food in the toilet? Or does it lower it to 1.5 seconds? No, that rule is null and void if you drop something in the toilet. There's no 3-second, 2-second, 1.5 second, millisecond. There are no second anything rules if you drop something in the toilet. I don't even care if the toilet's not occupied by some other doo-doo. It's still no second in the toilet rule. Avocado Diablo asked, did dinosaurs fart? And if so, what did they smell like? Well, they smelled like petroleum because, that's where all the petroleum's from, the dead dinosaurs. It smelled like natural gas. How about that? There you go. Let's see. Lord Stanhope, in your opinion as a professional bartender, what's the best wine to pair with rice and bananas? Well, I'm on a Moscato kick for answer questions like this, so let's just stick with the Moscato. Lord Stanhope, what would you rather bear witness to? A Big Mike bikini shoot or a Barry O bikini shoot? Oh, God. Well, assuming Big Mike is not a man, because, it's a funny thing to say about her, but, she's not a man. I'd much rather see a bikini shoot with a woman than a man. So yeah, I don't give a fuck about seeing a bikini shoot at Barack Obama. And if Big Mike is a man, I'm not going there either. But Big Mike's not a man. Okay, I know it's funny to say and whatever, and everyone jokes about it, but she's not a man. I'm sorry. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, who is the most beautiful woman you've ever met that still was more masculine and less bitchy than Don Lemonhead? Ty Babylonia. Ty Babylonia. She's a fine individual. And not that she's masculine, it's just Don's really not masculine. Okay. Oh, you know who? Oh, and also, what's little gymnast chick? Oh my God, she was America's Sweetheart gymnast chick, short hair. I'm blanking on her name now, and I met her when I was in New York City once. The little short chick, well, all the little short gymnast chicks. Mary Lou Retton. I met Mary Lou Retton. Yeah, thank you, Summonable Nation. Mary Lou Retton. She's more masculine than Don Lemon. But again, it doesn't take a lot to be more masculine than Don Lemon. I'm just saying. Moving on. Avocado Ciabli asks, have you ever woken up in the broom closet of a Dunkin' Donuts covered in horseradish wearing just one of those cartoon barrels with suspenders with a thumbnail of Adam Schiff tattooed on your scalp? Everything but the cartoon barrel. I was just wearing plain old overalls. That was the dream. It was a dream, though. It wasn't that I woke up in there. But in my dream, I woke up with that damn Adam Schiff thing tattooed on my scalp, and it sucked. Okay. Avocado Ciabli asks, if you really needed a condom and all you could find were various deli meats and a zip tie, you said zip strip, but it's a zip tie, thank you. Which deli meat do you think you could MacGyver one best? Okay, I'm going to read that again because I didn't, after I made the aside, it probably made the question sound really weird. Again, the question is, if you really needed a condom and all you could find were various deli meats and a zip tie, which deli meat do you think you could MacGyver into one best? Probably pastrami. Like, there's probably some what do you call it when it's spermicidal qualities to the spices that are in pastrami, and that would probably work pretty good. Okay. Great question. Lord Stanhope asks, the one member of chat that said yes to the troglodyte gargoyle, can we give them an exorcism or at least stage an intervention? I am all for that. Whoever said yes to the would you in the chat, will you please raise your hand? We have a special session for you. Let's see. Okay, Avocado Ciabli asks, have you noticed that RFK Jr.'s voice? Wait, holy shit, there's a lot of questions today. I'm going to have to go faster now. Have you noticed that RFK Jr.'s voice has gotten slightly less RFK lately? No, I haven't. Maybe because he talks all the time now. I don't know. I haven't noticed at all. But I haven't seen much of him talking lately either. So that kind of takes my opinion out of the pool of possible answers. Let's see. There we go. Lord Stanhope asks, if you could smell sound, what would Liz Warren's speech smell like? Oh, pemmican. Pemmican. I don't even know if that related answered the question correctly. But yeah, pemmican. If you don't know what pemmican is, it's basically beef jerky. Okay. Selected Boy asks, ever heard of a singer that goes by the name of Dennis Emmanuel Brown? No. Should I know who that is? Dennis Emmanuel Brown. I'll put that in my notes here. Lord Stanhope asks, would it be possible for someone to would it be possible for someone with face tattoos to make others with face tattoos look bad? Look, there are subtle face tattoos, and there are what the fuck face tattoos. And so, yes, if someone just has one little teardrop, or because they killed somebody, or they got maybe one cross right here, right, and then you walk up to someone who's their entire face is tattooed, you go, yeah, that makes that one look bad. Let's see. Lord Stanhope asks. Selected Boy asks. If there are cybernetic implants being sold or made, what would you want made? What the hell is a cybernetic implant? I don't know what that means. I'm out of my wheelhouse when you said that. Cybernetic implant. Siri, what is a cybernetic implant?
A cybernetic implant is a technology that integrates directly with the human nervous system. It is used to enhance the body's biological capabilities.
Oh.
This is from Wikipedia.
Here, Siri, repeat that answer.
A cybernetic implant is a technology that integrates directly with the human nervous system. It is used to enhance the body's biological capabilities. This is from Wikipedia.
Wait, what would you want made? I don't know. But that answers my question. That's already made something. The cybernetic implant is the made thing. That doesn't make things. I'm not sure. Robots are a foreign concept to those born in the 1800s. No. See, okay, I see what you're saying. Cybernetic. For if I want a new, I think bionic legs would be cool. Replace the hips and knees with just fucking new bionic legs. That'd be cool. Okay. Okay, here we go. Lord Stanhope, if you would up at a fuck the police rally, who would you badmouthing the most, Sting or Stuart Copeland or Andy Summers? Okay, the question is not readable because I think you typed too fast or you used voice typing because it doesn't make sense. It's not reading right. Maybe you can just put that at the bottom. I can tell it has something to do with the police rally. And you made a joke about the police, aka Sting, Stuart Copeland, Andy Summers. But I don't understand the question. If you wound up at a fuck the police rally, who would you badmouth the most? Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Probably Andy Summers because no one really cares about him. I mean, yeah, he was to play guitar and shit, but the bass player and the drummer are the cool ones, and Sting's the singer. So probably Andy Summers. Selected Boy, 90s Bulls or 80s Lakers? Well, You made the mistake of even mentioning the 80s Lakers because don't care. Yeah, the 90s Bulls by far. Although I enjoyed the Lakers-Celtic rivalry of the 80s, that brought basketball back, and then Jordan himself just completely blew that, to stratospheric levels. But yeah, 90s Bulls. I'd take 90s Bulls pretty much over any team since the 70s. And because, it's a whole different game starting the late 70s on. So anyway, all right. Avocado Stable asks, if a bunch of members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness formed a jazz polk fusion band with a frontman who was a black midget neo-Nazi skinhead, what would be a good band name? Okay, look, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, midget neo-Nazi skinhead, polka fusion band. The Great Adolf Harries. The Great Adolf Harries. That's about all I can come up with because you got to have a 4-name for a polka band, but then you had to fit it on their shit. Avocado Stabby asks, are you late yet? Nope. Avocado Stabby, can we still ask questions? Nope. Avocado Stabby asks, which one of your toes would you say is your most attractive toe? It's got to be the pinky toe because my big toes are ugly as fuck, and my second toe's too long, and the other two are like, the 2, 3, and 4 are like fingers because I have big old long toes. So the pinky toe because it's so cute, tiny little pinky toe. Lord Santa asks, when will people admit many of the homeless, it's their own damn fault they are homeless? I think a lot of people do admit that, but except for people on the left. They think you need to be taken care of. Lord Santa asks, do you understand that Mom Donnie is responsible for more deaths this year than ICE? Yeah, well, yeah. Avocado Stabby asks, if you could taste sounds, what do you think a cappella version of Tom's Diner sung by a deaf Down syndrome Elvis impersonator would taste like? Oh my God. I couldn't get through that question. Oh man. Well, obviously Bananas and Rice, the Somali's favorite song. Avocado Stabby asks, if you had to have your head sewn onto someone else's body for a week while they serviced your current body, who would you least like it to be sewn on? Well, Stephen Hawkins? More because he's dead, not because he's crippled. Okay, if Lord Stanham, do you feel the Second Amendment was compromised when we forfeited the right to own frigates, sloops, gunboats, howitzers, mortars, bombards, and field guns? Did we? I thought you can't order any. Wait, we're not supposed to have those? Johnny, call Dave. Tell me he needs to clean some stuff up for me. Let's see. Avocado Ciadli asks, better question is, if your colon were replaced with a gumball machine, how would you refill it? Well, orally, obviously. Ms. Wildwolf asks, if you could make any dish and it turned out perfect, what would it be and why? Hey, every dish I make does turn out perfect, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it would be. No, look, one of my favorite foods, if you haven't heard this before, are just some St. Louis style freaking spare ribs, smoked and seasoned right, light barbecue sauce because you don't need it because they taste so good with even just they're smoked so well. That's my number one go-to food if I could do it. And I don't have a smoker, so sometimes I jerry-rig my gas grill into a smoker just to use it as a smoker. I smoked a turkey once, and it turned out pretty good. But yeah, that's a really good St. Louis style pork spare ribs is my favorite food. All right, Avocado Diablo asks, what's the best snack food based on, named after, or on some way related to a cartoon strip? Oh man, I can't think of any off the top of my head. They didn't. There used to be was it Popeye cereal or something like that? Oh, remember Quisp and Quake? There's two different cereals. One was called Quisp and one was called Quake. Wasn't that based on a cartoon? That was pretty good. Spy versus Spy cereal was. There used to be a Spy versus Spy cereal too. Now I don't know if that was national, if that was regional, but yeah, there was a cereal based on Spy versus Spy in Mad Magazine. I remember that too. That was pretty good. All right. Now I'm getting close to being late. So here we go. Avocado Diablo asks, if a woman needed a contraceptive sponge and all that was available were various bread, what bread would work the best and have the least chance of causing a yeast infection? Probably some unleavened bread, which I don't know what that is even actually. I just heard about it in the Bible. Avocado Diablo asks, did I unintentionally come up with the worst sandwich in history with those two questions? The last two questions? Yeah, I don't know. A Spy versus Spy cereal sandwich, an unleavened bread, probably would not be that good. Avocado Diablo, now are you late? Not yet, but I'm getting there. Let's see. Oh, I'm almost done though. Ms. Wildwolf, did you hear about the, I do believe, 224 illegals arrested from Wisconsin? Shocker, no riots, no deaths, no issues. 117 of them were career criminals. I did not hear about that. That's special. Like, you would, if it was in the Twin Cities, you'd be hearing about all the people trying to save them from being taken away. Avocado Diablo asks, can we still answer questions now? No. Avocado Diablo asks, speaking of helicopters full of Capri Sun exploding, what do you have planned for the weekend? I don't know. We have a friend hanging out with us this weekend, so we'll see. We're going to play it by ear. Ms. Wildwolf, is this your last question? No, because Avocado Diablo has the last question of the day on Friday Q&A, stolen from Ms. Wildwolf. And the last question is actually a statement. So, Ms. Wildwolf, you did have the last question because this says, say something profound. And let's see. Oh, I got it. Something profound. Dad joke. And Avocado, Reaction Puerto Rico made a good suggestion. At the end of every show, he says I should put a dad joke in the comment section. And so everyone should go check out the comment section to see my daily dad joke. I kind of like that idea. So, I mean, I may throw, I didn't get to one yesterday, Carlos, but I may well do that today, but it won't be immediately. So every day, dad joke in the comment section. Should I just link to a dad joke that I've done on my other channel? Maybe I should do that. I could link to a dad joke. Anyway, that's it. Thanks guys for joining me this week. It's been fun, and I hope to have more fun next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, on my daily show, The Morning Night Live, here, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, on this channel that you're watching right now. Follow me on X, follow me on Instagram and TikTok and anywhere else that has I'm kind of on every social media, but I only use those. And that's it. So thanks for joining me. I'll be back next week. You'll have a lovely weekend. Here are today's links. Got Copy. There you go. Here's the links from the show today. There's a lot of articles in the aggregator. Does anyone ever go check out Ace of Spades blog when I put that on there? It's a really good aggregator. He has a lot of good stories and has them kind of categorized and stuff. A lot of good stuff in there. So go check it out. I got to go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye. Have a great weekend. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.